It's on every race fan's bucket list, and for the 7th time, Bristol hosts the K&N Pro Series East. So get the kids to put the electronics down because they don't want to miss a single second of the hair-raising action at Bristol. It's Bristol, and Harrison Burton knows it well. He's last year's winner at this race. Dylan Bassett has had some good runs as well on the half mile. Haley Deegan, she's experiencing Bristol for the very first time, and against some veterans like Noah Gregson, who returns to the series for the first time since 2016. Welcome, everyone, to the K&N Pro Series East Zombie Auto 150 from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Beautiful afternoon here. Dave Burns, Parker Kligerman, Derek Perniciglio joining you for the action. And Parker, I don't think it ever fails to deliver when anyone races at Bristol.
And that's why they call it the world's fastest half mile, Dave, because it's absolutely one of the fastest short tracks in the country.
Fans just got to see a great Xfinity Series race won by Ryan Preece. The temperatures this afternoon perfect for racing. A warm racetrack located near Nashville, a couple hundred miles away. In fact, a number of drivers in the field spent the weekend there last week, warming up for this week. But of course, there is nothing like Bristol, Parker, and as we come to this race, the points really don't tell the whole story. A lot of these drivers won't be here for the whole year.
Right, and that's what's so interesting about what we have here today is that you have some drivers that are focused on just simply winning this race and others looking at the bigger picture of running for a championship.
Todd Gilliland has already won. Today, Noah Gregson will be his teammate. Derek?
Dave, Noah Gregson is Mr. Popularity in the NASCAR circuits, and you always know that from his funny tweets and his interviews on air. But now he joins us back with the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East and back again with the series. And how much fun is it to be here this weekend and to do this race? There's no pressure for points or anything.
Yeah, Derek, it's awesome to get back here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. This is what I came from racing in 2015, 2016, before I moved up into the NASCAR Camper World Truck Series. So to get back here to where my roots are, knowing this isn't what I'm racing for points, just trying to have fun mostly. And I'm racing a lot of guys that I grew up racing. Todd Gilliland, Tyler Ankrum, they're my two teammates. They've been really fast all weekend within the David Gilliland Racing Crosley stable. So just coming out here, just trying to have fun is the biggest thing. I've learned so much throughout the past year at Kyle Busch Motorsports and the NASCAR Camper World Truck Series. So to be able to use everything I've learned from restarts to saving tires to strategy and how my balance changes from the beginning to end of a run, it's everything I'm going to use. I'm bringing it all together, and hopefully it'll all pay off there at the end.
Well, Noah Gregson's here for a one-race appearance, just here to have some fun, and if he ends up in victory lane, it'll be a lot of fun for him.
And Dave, one of the reasons he's running this race and talking to some people that he works with is because they felt like he has the speed here at Bristol, but he needs to learn to race a little better, all in anticipation of running here in the Truck Series later in August.
No, nothing like 150 laps to get that done today. We'll see how he does. Back in the day, they ran 125 laps only. Michael McGuire on the pole here in the 7 car, and Dylan Presnell and the 26. Presnell gets the jump, and then McGuire, he gets the dunk from Enrique Contreras. But he would recover and finish well that day. Ben Kennedy was in the race. Ryan Gifford on the outside gets a little bit of action as well. CJ Faison held on to the 39, but the 98 of Dylan Kwasniewski, he was the dominant car. Led 96 of 125 in the 36-car field. The only driver from that field in the field today, Eddie McDonald, who finished 7th. Today you'll see McDonald in the 43 car. Engines have fired on all 28 cars here at Bristol. K&N Pro Series Racing on NBCSN is brought to you by K&N High Flow Air Filters and Air Intake Systems, because everyone loves that fast car smell. Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway on a hot, sunny afternoon. This is the final race of a day that has seen a lot of action here already. It's the Zombie Auto 150, 25 laps added, Parker. And that's really the end of the story. The beginning is this track.
No doubt about it. Look at that banking in the turns, 26 to 30 degrees. That is what makes this place so fast, is that banking.
14 rows of 2 on their pace laps. Let's go to Derek on who to watch.
Well, Dave, our Who to Watch driver will be the driver that won here last year. It's also your defending champion. That's Harrison Burton in the red number 12 machine. He comes into this season running sporadically between K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and Super Late models. And so far, he's done pretty good. In Martinsville earlier this year in the Truck Series, he was able to finish 8th. He won the Rattler down in Opp, Alabama with the Super Late models, and he also won a race at New Smyrna Speedway in the Super Late models also. And just last week, he finished 3rd at Nashville in the ARCA car. So not a bad start so far to the season for Harrison Burton.
I think he's learning, Parker. What do you think?
No doubt, and it's a great schedule. It's putting him in a lot of different cars, a lot of different types of racetracks, and that's something that's kind of unique. You know, he's been able to run for a championship and win it last year in this series, but now he's getting the chance to kind of jump around and really kind of get an assortment of different experiences in race cars.
Now, as you take a look at the starting grid, keep a couple of things in mind. Noah Gragson on the pole shattered the track record. New radial tire this year. First year they've qualified with the PJ1 track bite on the track. So 126 miles per hour plus. The Cup Series cars qualified at 128. Parker, they're flying around here this weekend.
And that's some of the comments the drivers had, saying it was so much faster than last year, what kind of speed they're carrying these cars. And a lot of that, as you said, is about that new tires, just producing a lot of grip mixed with that PJ1 track bite.
Many cars to the rear, a lot of them, most of them for unapproved adjustments. So we'll see some fast ones coming from the back. A couple of fast ones up front. Green is out at Bristol. Opening laps, Parker, at this track, when your tires aren't quite up to air pressure, what's it like behind the wheel?
Well, it can be sketchy at times, and we saw Tyler Ankrum there did not get a good start on the top, fell way back, and I think we'll see that throughout the day on restarts. The top may not roll or get the restart that they're hoping for. There's just so much grip down on that PJ1 track bite.
Try to help you identify drivers and cars that you may not know throughout the day. That 28, that's Tanner Thorson up front. 54 again is Noah Gragson, the pole sitter. Behind him, the 41 is now Tyler Dipple. Dipple raced the first race of the year with the team he was with last year, the Rhett Jones Racing number 30. Dipple has switched teams now. He's in that very fast 41.
As we see two side by side right here. Look at that outside lane rolling there for Ruben Garcia Jr.
Yeah.
And, oh, we've got a spinner off the back there, Dave.
That is Brandon Oakley in the 51 right in front of the pack now. There you see him, the orange car. And he got loose off of turn number 2. Brandon's had an adventure already. Flat spotted, actually had a spin in qualifying. There were several spins. Let me just mention those, by the way. Oakley was one of them. Chase Cabry actually spun and had to go to a backup car because the damage was bad. And then I'm looking at my list, Parker, because it was fairly long. Cabry had trouble. Oakley had trouble. Anthony Alfredo spun in qualifying. The 99 of Cole Rouse, he slid on the front stretch, all the way down the front stretch. Had to get 4 additional tires purchased for his car. Eddie McDonald had a problem. The 32 of Sally Avino. Matt Levine had issues, and all those cars started in the back. So it's been quite an adventure already this weekend.
Well, Dave, and one of the reasons for that is that the radial tire is less forgiving than the tire they've run here in the past, those bias pies. You can't get the car as sideways and out of shape. And so in talking to a lot of drivers, just a bit more on a knife edge for a lot of them. And that's why you maybe saw a lot of those spins, plus the speeds are up. It's a lot of different variables being thrown at these drivers.
Pace car is off. Leading the field now, back to the green. Noah Gragson in the black and white 54. Third car in line there, we'll point it out. The 98 is Todd Gilliland. He currently leads the points, having won at New Smyrna, but is not going to be in the series, if at all, much after this race, Parker, because guess what? He's going to turn 18. What happens then?
Then you're eligible for the top 3 series, of course.
That's right.
In NASCAR.
He can race all of the Truck Series tracks. He's running for Kyle Busch Motorsports, and he's got a full schedule coming up. One of his teammates is Harrison Burton in this red and white 12. And they'll share that ride throughout the year. And on the outside, that's Spencer Davis in the orange 82.
And Dave, you can just scrap everything I said about the outside not working at the beginning of this race.
That's true. It's coming in well. 2 grooves of racing at Bristol in the K&N Pro Series East. With you at Bristol. So glad you could join us for this afternoon's Zombie Auto 150 on the world's fastest half mile. And these drivers and teams have proven it again this weekend. A new track record for pole sitter Noah Gragson, and he has led the entire way so far. But they've been trying to chase him down, Parker. Tyler Dipple in that 41 and Todd Gilliland in the 98, who's trying to find a way through lap traffic right now.
And that's one of the things about this place is you catch lap traffic very quickly in sub-16-second laps, as you're seeing right now. And then that's what the leaders have to do, is they have to sort their way through that traffic, trying to move their lanes around, trying to guess where those lappers are going to be before you get to them, so you lose as little time as possible. But a lot of times it's hardest for the leader at the beginning, and then second and third have an easier time, although they're not getting that right now. Wow.
Oh, there's Dipple trying to get by Jesse Iwuji on the backstretch, and he's going to turn Jesse. Oh, Iwuji is into the inside wall, and that's a lot of damage to that car.
That is, and that's one of the dangers here, is that when you are a lapper and you're not getting out of the way quick enough, and you've got a lot of lead lap cars coming quickly that are trying to keep up the leader, they're just going to force the issues. You see Dipple doing here, and then he just lays in the bumper of Jesse Iwuji and spins him around. And, you know, that's a bit of frustration. I understand it. It's a bit early maybe for that, but, you know, we've seen that time and time again at Bristol, because it's just very hard to get around these lappers, and you want to lose as little time as possible. And then if they don't get out of the way quick enough, you can get frustrated.
Yeah, now Tyler does have a brake pedal on that car, Parker.
He does, but, you know, I think that's one of those things where he wanted to send a message to say, hey, don't get in my way.
Now, he was excited when I talked to him before the race. They had an autograph session, and I had a chance to talk to Tyler. That new team that he's driving for, MDM Motorsports, he said the car just feels really in the track for me. So it's a step in the right direction for him. And, you know, that's why you take a risk, Parker, and make a jump, right?
Exactly. And MDM Motorsports has obviously got a truck team and some ARCA races as well that they do, and they seem to run up front in each and every series. So I think that's a very stout organization to be a part of.
So the pace car has collected them once again, and the leader, let's talk about this, Parker. PJ1 track bike down on the bottom, the sticky stuff. The leader continues to choose the outside for the restart. Do you have any idea why?
Well, I think it's simply momentum. You get the jump off the top there, as you see Noah Gragson did, and then it allows you to just carry that momentum through 1 and 2, and then he'll probably get back to the bottom. It's just a lot easier to clear that car on the inside.
We'll mention that they are teammates restarting there on the front row. I'll say it, David Gilliland Racing. DGR Crosley is the name of the team. They've got 3 entries today. The 54 leading, the 98 in second, and the 17 of Tyler Ankrum.
You see Brandon McReynolds there in the 74 trying to make that outside work. He's not able to keep up with Dipple there. And that's one of the things. It might work for a couple. Oh, wow. Spencer Davis got loose down there.
Nice catch. And glad he didn't collect the 74 or the 17. They got it figured out, and McReynolds gets the 5th position, or holds the 5th position. Here's Derek with more on him.
Yeah, Brandon McReynolds is running in the top 5 right now. Not bad for this newly formed team. They finished 10th at the New Smyrna Speedway their first race out, but like we said, it's a newly formed team. They just put it together with John Visconti Motorsports over the winter. Plus, they have a handful of guys from Tommy Baldwin Racing helping out, so they're hoping all of those things coming together will make for real strong runs this season in the K&N Pro Series East.
And Derek, one more thing. They added a new crew chief this week, Bruce Cook, a name we've heard around the short tracks and the big tracks for a long time in NASCAR. Brandon got a hold of Bruce and said, hey, could you help us out on race day? Well, actually practice too. And so he said the biggest thing was that Bruce was here on Friday. They only had 1 hour of practice total for the weekend, and it was really big on getting Brandon's confidence up for the race. So a lot of things going on with that new young team, and they're looking good.
No doubt, David. It's always helpful to have a veteran like Bruce Cook there helping out, calling the shots a little bit. But, you know, speaking to Brandon, he's so excited about this opportunity. As you see Gillen get a little held up behind the lapper there. But one of the things that's interesting is it's a bit old school. He told me that, you know, most nights after work, he goes and actually works in the shop on the car at times. Yep. And, you know, he's just hardworking. He's very thankful for this opportunity. He's been working with Noah Gragson in the truck series, doing a little spotting. But he told me, you know what the best job in this sport is? That's driving. So he really is thankful for this ride.
Absolutely. Yep. Gragson knows that. He's driven a lot of things over the last few years as he begins his career in NASCAR, raced in the West for 2 seasons. Made the jump to the Truck Series last year. And now leads again here. So lap 51 in the books, and NASCAR will throw the caution soon. On or about lap 50 was the first race break that was scheduled for a competition caution. And there it is. And the idea is to get the cars to pit road. If you want to, there is one additional set of tires available to the teams, Parker. They'll get 2 race breaks. They can take them now. They can take them at lap 100 with 50 to go. Let me have you put your crew chief hat on. What would you do?
I don't know. That's why I'm not a crew chief. I'm glad I'm a driver. I don't make those decisions. I personally would want them later, but we'll see.
All right, we'll see who pits and who stays out. First competition caution at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Your leader, Noah Gragson. At Bristol, pit road was open. Not everyone took advantage of it, Parker. The 7th and 11th place cars of Tyler Ankrum, the 17, and the 40 of Anthony Alfredo stayed out. So fresh tires for everyone behind them, and the green is back out. What do you think?
Well, it's what I would have done, but apparently I was not in the majority, so we'll see how it works out for them here. I don't know, how much the tires are really wearing here today with that new radial tire lock. Oh, we saw them get pretty loose there. But a lot of people felt like this tire lasts longer than what we had with the bias flies last year.
That was Gregson, who got a little out of shape in the 54. He's got new tires. There he is, collecting it. But yeah, the 40 now of Alfredo has dropped back just a touch. He did not get the same jump that the 17 of Ankrum did, so keep an eye on it. They didn't take the fresh tires, but Tyler Ankrum already this year has shown a whole lot of talent, and he's got a teammate behind him, so I bet he's going to lead a pretty good amount of laps here, Parker.
Well, and that really proves how strong his car is to me. If he's able to get out front and really hold on this lead throughout this run on those tires, then I would be worried for the other competitors in this race when he gets those new tires on, because that would prove that he has a very strong race car.
Spencer Davis trying to find a way back down to the low line in the 82. Can't get it done. This is the battle for 4th now. Alfredo's fallen back to that. Gregson is looking for a way by. Alfredo, by the way, just a reminder, had an issue in qualifying, had to start at the rear of the field, so all the way up to 11th before the break, and then resumed the race on the outside, well, actually as the 2nd place car when they took the green.
And you know what? I like that, Dave. Try something different. If you're going to start at the back and you have a car that's obviously very fast to pass that many cars, why not get off strategy a little bit and see if you can't jump this field and find yourself in victory lane?
Cole Rouse is 99. You had a good shot of him there. And Cole, by the way, had some laps earlier this week. The series is testing wherever they can this new Goodyear radial, and Cole was one of the drivers at Gateway earlier this week, along with the 30 of Grant Quinlan, the new driver for Rhett Jones Racing. He's kind of their old driver too, but now in the 30 car. They did a tire test. That's very important information, and a little bit of a heads up for those two drivers as Gregson takes the spot over Alfredo.
No doubt that's invaluable, but we've seen these new tires not just drive around Ankrum and Alfredo. They've really held on well, and I think that goes back to what I was saying, that a lot of people felt like this new radial, you could push it hard and get away with this. We have the battle for the lead here.
That's right. Gilliland now looking underneath his teammate, the 17 of Ankrum. Todd Gilliland is going to try to put the 98 into the lead. If he can do it, hanging tough on the outside. Derek with more on this team and others.
Dave, we're seeing the emergence of the super teams in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series. And look at the guys in the top 6. The first 2 cars are DGR cars, the 17 and the 98. The 12 car, Harrison Burton, is an MDM car. The 54 is also a DGR car, and the 40 and the 41 are from the MDM team. So the top 6 are just from those 2 teams alone.
And that's kind of the way it's been the last couple years, Parker, though the kind of the names and the players have changed a little bit.
No doubt, and you see that in a lot of these development series where, 1 or 2 teams really get a foothold. They're successful. They know what it takes to win. They know how to build the best cars, and then the drivers obviously naturally gravitate to those teams because they want to win. They want to prove themselves. So I think that's not unusual, and right now we're just seeing it out of DJR and MDM.
You know who I'm happy for?
Who's that?
I'm happy for David Gilliland. Right, he was a West Series competitor, made it up to the Cup Series, as we see a good battle between Garcia in the 6 and the 99 of Rouse. But he made it to the Cup Series, and then that went away. Started racing his son Todd as much as he could, built up a program, now has a full alliance with Bill McAnally Racing, and has great race cars every week they come to the track.
No doubt, and it's really cool to see David giving back to the sport, you know, and helping young drivers. Not only his son, Todd Gilliland, who's obviously on a quick path to superstardom, in my opinion, but I think, you know, also helping other youngsters to have a good quality ride and to have the chance to use his knowledge and what they know about going fast in this series to their advantage. So I think it's a great thing.
Watching some great racing. This 6 of Garcia and the 99 of Rouse battle. And then this one had to give up a little bit for lap traffic. Yep. That's the 32 of Iovino on the inside. The 27 car also, Max Tullman, just trying to stay low when you're not competitive. Whoa, there's some more contact there.
Oh, wow. And I've been impressed by Tyler Ankrum being able to stay in the lead as long as he have on those old tires. Very impressive.
Derek, can you believe this craziness?
You know, Dave Parker, we're listening over the radio, and the big complaint we're hearing out there right now is traffic. The spotters are on the radios to the drivers, and the drivers are saying, get these guys out of my way.
I don't disagree.
I was going to say, typical drivers, right?
That it is, Dave. And, you know, the frustrating part is some of these lappers are quite slow as we've got a caution on the track.
Now, I'm looking around, and that's a big break, by the way, for the 5 of Juan Manuel Gonzalez, who will stay that lap ahead of the leaders. Oh, and there's your debris. That's what it's for. Max Tullman's got a bumper bar in the front.
He's got a spike there. Maybe, I think they were definitely smart to call the caution there if he would have spiked some other drivers with that thing.
That was he wishes that caution for debris had come out just a little bit earlier. What color is that? Sal Iovino's car is green and white. Just saying.
Possibly.
And he has been roughed up a little bit along the way here. Let's see who narrowly misses, and that's Sal right in front of Max. And I'm thinking that's where he grabbed it.
Well, it looked like it was already actually on the car there. But, you know, I think that the problem is just that 32 car is very slow today, and it's been tough to get around it.
By the way, you saw Haley Deegan's 19. She had an issue following the first race break. The car would not refire, and it was reported to us that they had a fuel delivery issue. Parker, she went 20 laps down. The car is fine, so now she's just getting experience. I know that's tough on a youngster, but at least she's getting laps at speed.
Yeah, sometimes that can be some of the best laps. You don't have much pressure. Just go out there and learn.
A little pressure on Tyler Ankrum. He's got his teammates all around him. The Black Roof 98. That's Gilliland with an advantage down on the low side. And right behind him, the 54 of Noah Gragson. The 12 of Harrison Burton is right there. Top 4 all together at Bristol.
This is awesome side-by-side racing. I don't think Tyler got the restart that he really wanted there, as Gilliland's able to take the lead. And because of that, being on those little older tires, he wasn't able to hold on to the lead on the outside.
Yep, Todd certainly got the restart that he wanted. And now Garcia trying to hold off Alfredo on the outside. Alfredo may get freight trained, as here comes the 82 of Spencer Davis.
It looks like he's trying to get back down right now. Just can't seem to find that hole. Trying to use a little bit of a diamond there off the corner, off of turn 2, and get the run down the backstretch, but just not able to get back down. And once again, it looks like the track is flip-flopped a little bit, and now the bottom line is where you want to be on the restart.
I was going to say, and it doesn't look like he has the option to say, no, I'll just stay up here, because it's not as fast.
It's just not working. No, and that happens. I mean, this track, because of that PJ1 track bite, changes each and every run. Each caution changes the track a little bit depending on where the cars run around and pick up the rubber as they go under caution. So it's definitely one of those guessing games for the drivers, as we see Tyler Ankrum's actually running down Todd Gilliland a little bit here after losing the lead on that restart.
Todd Gilliland, 2-time West Series champion, just 17 years old. He turns 18 next month. And will begin his majority of his races for Kyle Busch Motorsports in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. He's leading another here and may pick off a couple of wins in a row if he can keep them all behind him here.
No doubt that he is the one to beat when he shows up in the K&N East or West Series, in my opinion. I think we've been watching him for the last couple of years, and he just continually finds a way to get to the front. If he's not, he's going to find a way to get back up there.
This is like our former champions pan back through the field. The 6 of Garcia, the NASCAR Mexico champion, and of course the reigning and defending champion of the East Series, Harrison Burton, who's also seeing those Truck Series races lining up for him later this year when he turns 18.
That is, and he hasn't quite shown the speed we saw in practice. He led practice, so maybe just waiting for that car to come to him a little bit.
The 16 is Derek Kraus. He's had kind of a quiet day. Let's learn more about him.
Hi, I'm Derek Kraus, driver of the number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota Camry for Bill McAnally Racing. I started racing when I was 7 years old in go-karts, and I keep progressing my way up. The K&N series is a great learning experience for young drivers like me to progress up the ranks. With the K&N cars being heavier than what the Super Late model is, it's a lot different. You got to drive them a lot different. You got to lift earlier going into the corners than what you do in the Super Late models, and you got to be easier on the gas pedal. Some of the things I want to do in my second full season at Phil McAnally races is win more races and hopefully go for that championship. I think we got a great crew behind me, and I think I can do it. I'm Derek Kraus, and that's your NASCAR Next Gen Profile.
We talked to Derek before this got started today. 20th in qualifying after his car seemed fairly decent in practice. As the lead is heating up here again, car was very loose and appears to still be that way. 17 of Ankrum. He's going to go back by his teammate Gilliland.
What a move, Dave. To the outside, the lane that we have not seen work as much out this race, just goes up there and drives around our leader, Todd Gilliland. That was impressive. I swear that must be the best car in the field there for Tyler Ankrum. He is on older tires, and he continually finds a way to get to lead, and even using a lane that I just have not seen work like that throughout this race.
All right, Parker, what are they going to do? Wow, that was close as Gomez tried to find a way around Haley Deegan, and he didn't do it there, but the caution is going to come out again for the next competition break. There it is. And now Tyler Ankrum, who didn't take his tires on that first stop, has a decision to make. Do they bring him in and give up the lead, or could you go all the way on fuel, Parker, with the caution laps that we've had here and just stay out?
And that's the question, Dave. It's not only the tires, as you brought up, it's the fuel. Can you make it all the way? I think a lot of people felt like it's close with the competition cautions. If we were to get one or two other cautions, it might help him out. We've already had that, so we'll see here. He's so fast, I don't want to take him off the racetrack.
Big decision coming up for the race leader. Bristol Motor Speedway hosting the K&N Pro Series East for the 7th time this afternoon. It's been hot and sunny, and the 54 of Noah Gragson was hot. New track record in qualifying. Jesse Iwuji trouble early on. Contact from Tyler Dippel. His car destroyed. And at the second competition caution, decisions were made among the two who had not stopped earlier and others who had. Derek?
Well, guys, during this 100-lap stop at the break, the top 5 decided to stay out with the exception of one. Tyler Ankrum came down for adjustments, fuel, and tires on the car. When I talked to crew chief Seth Smith, he said, if they're doing something different, we've got to do the opposite. We're going to go back out there with 50 laps to go and fresh tires.
Ankrum will restart in the 10th position, 12 to 40 of Alfredo, who also came down pit road. Green is back out. Parker, we're getting down to it, and Gilliland now jumps to the lead.
Great restart, and I'm also glad I'm not a crew chief because I have called this wrong each and every time. So Tyler Ankrum does pit, gets those 4 new tires, and now we'll see the speed of that race car. If he has the same speed he had before, I've got no qualms that he's going to be able to drive back up to be fighting for the lead.
Boy, he was high through that last set of corners. That's the black-roofed and white-bodied 17 car on fresh tires. He's behind Brandon McReynolds right now to the outside of the 82 of Davis. There's a battle for second. Burton has to give it up. Gragson will take it. Here's Ankrum. And on fresh tires, Davis will be no match, although the inside line looks pretty grippy and good.
Yeah, but look at Tyler Ankrum get that big momentum run around the top. Now back to the bottom. He'll catch up McReynolds there and start working on him. Let's see if he can really move up there. He's going to have to get it done quick. You know, if we end up with a rash of cautions here, as that happens late Bristol a lot of times, that will kind of negate that advantage he has with those new tires.
You speak like a driver who has seen some late race cautions at Bristol. Oh, and there's another one. 16 of Kraus has spun.
See if they get around him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was close.
Dylan Bassett and Haley Deegan there at the last with great evasive maneuvers to avoid the spinning or the stopped Kraus. We told you his car was loose, Parker. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, that just jumped right out from under him. Not much you can do there. Just looks like that car is really not in the racetrack with the rear, and then gets it stopped down here, which is good. Held on to the brake, locks it down, and that allows everyone to get around him. You know, at this place, it's really tough to figure out where the car is going to go as you're coming up on a spinning car because of the banking. Sometimes it cleans the cars off. Sometimes they go up to the wall. So if you lock it down like that, it helps these drivers coming up get around him.
And it happens so fast, right? Look at that.
It does. That's
wow.
The other part is that you bring up a good point. It happens fast. This place is sub 16-second lap times. When you see a wreck, you'll be there in just a blink of an eye.
So what of Tyler Ankrum? He's made up 4 positions after resuming the race in 10th. He led earlier. You said he looks like he has the best car. So how's his progress?
I think it's good. I would like to, continue to see him able to use that outside lane. I don't want to see him get stuck on the bottom. If he feels like that outside lane starts to fall away from him for whatever reason, I don't know if he'll be able to pass all these cars, but I think that was a great start to being able to move up to his field.
And there you see the time left, 37 laps remaining. Will it be enough? Will the others ahead of him? A lot of experience and speed up there as the leader continues to be the 98 car of Todd Gilliland.
Whoa!
Little shove there from Dipple.
Yeah, and Tyler Ankrum must have had a misshift or something there, dropped way back right as he was about to go to 3rd gear, I believe. So that's going to hurt him a little bit. He's going to have to make up another couple spots that he just had.
I was looking at the other car. I'm glad you saw that. So Ankrum gathers it back up and meanwhile loses a lot of position, a lot of track position to the leaders.
That he does. Can't afford that right now. We're coming down to the end of this race. He really needs to be moving forward and getting up there towards Gregson and Gillen. Oh, really loose underneath Reynolds there.
I was enjoying that side-by-side until Ankrum got a little bit squirrely there. McReynolds' car sticking very well on the outside, but Ankrum gets a good jump that time, and he'll get the spot. This is for 8th. Oh, and Rouse just, man, the exit of that corner just did not treat his 99 kindly.
No, it didn't. And that's something we're seeing out of a lot of these cars, Dave, is that they seem to just be getting very loose, losing his rear ends.
Wait, Parker up high in 3 and 4. That's Kraus again with trouble. And he's now brought the 16 to a halt. That's going to bring out a caution here at lap 118. Just about 30 to go. And I didn't quite see how that started for Derek. So we'll get a look at it here.
Hey, Dave, remember when I said rash of cautions?
You did use the word rash. That's more than 2, isn't it?
That is. 2's a couple, right? 3's a company?
Yeah, and a rasher of bacon. No, that's something else. So, Derek Kraus, the last 2 cautions, and we're not even talking about the rough racing 4 position within the pack. That may be yet to come. And your prediction is looking pretty healthy here. Derek rolling it back, and it looks like that's not refiring. I don't see a lot of damage on the 16.
That's what I'm wondering here. Is I don't know if he had a mechanical issue and just felt like he wasn't going to be able to get back down to the bottom to roll it into pit lane and decide to stop up top and
bring the caution out.
And bring the caution out just because he wasn't able to get off the racetrack.
Here we go. Let's look at top of your screen there. He is going to the high, to the high, to the high.
You know what? He might have a right front going down there or a tire issue of some sort.
Right.
The way that car went up the racetrack, it seems like he almost knew it was coming before it happened, had slowed up a little bit, and that's why it was a gentle hit into the wall and then just decides to bring it to a stop instead of trying to turn down across the racetrack in front of traffic. Smart move.
Nice job by our crew picking up the things that we don't always see from our location. They've had a long day here. Practice started early in the morning for the Monster Energy Cup Series. There was Xfinity Series qualifying, Xfinity Series race, and this is the final event of the day. And our bunch has hung in there very well. There's Max Tullman getting the free pass. And here's Derek with more on the leaders.
Well, we've reached the point of the race where we've got less than 20 laps to go, and after talking with the crew chiefs, I asked them what kind of strategy they have, and they said it's all in the hands of the drivers right now. We've made the adjustments that we've made. They've got what they've got. It's up to them from here to the checkered flag.
That's what we like. We like it when it's you guys, Parker, you drivers, on old tires and end of the race and lots at stake.
Yeah, throw me the ball, right? This is it's what they want, the drivers. But want it between them, going out there and seeing who's the fastest here at the end.
And do we mention it's the last great Coliseum? This is Bristol. Leaders get the green. 14 to go at the world's fastest half mile. Nice jump by Gilliland. He was the restart leader. He was the control car. But remember, the pole speed today was set by that second-place car, Noah Gragson, with a new track record. Oh, no, in turn 1 now, Alfredo, big damage and another hit to the 30 car of Quinlan. And Cole Rouse is involved in the 99. Several cars spinning and crashing, entering turn 1.
Those are some really hard hits there, Dave. We'll have to see in the replay what exactly went down, but you saw Alfredo went really hard into the wall, and it seems Quinlan was shooting down the racetrack. Cars were trying to avoid him and just ran right through the back of him.
Makes an Ontario native. Big damage to his 30 car. And here is another look at it.
Oh, 3 wide.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know that Quinlan knew that the 40 was the meat in the sandwich.
Exactly, and Spencer Davis was all the way down, even on the apron. Ooh, hard hit for Quinlan there.
Yep, Juanman could not slow the 5 car down and enough, and smashes into the back of the 30 of Quinlan. Another look at it.
And this is not uncommon to see here at Bristol. I mean, it's, this is what you get. Late race cautions allow all the cars to be bunched up. It allows a lot of opportunity for you to try and get 2 or 3 positions all at once quickly. And I think that's what Spencer Davis was trying to do on the bottom there. And 3 wide doesn't always work when you're fighting for the same real estate.
Nope. Saw a number of cars get through. Ryan Vargas in the 2 took to the high side, and he made it by. And there's Quinlan out. We're glad to see he's okay. The safer barrier did its job, but man, it took a hit, and they left some parts behind. Big wreck here late in the going. There'll be another restart to end it. Parker talked about a rash of cautions at the Bristol Motor Speedway near the end, and it has happened. It's bunched up the field one more time with 9 laps to go. Control car is a 98 on the outside. That's Todd Gilliland. Noah Gregson to the inside. Here comes Harrison Burton in the 12.
And Dave, did you see Noah Gregson trying to anticipate the start there a little bit? It just burned him a tick. He actually got a good restart considering he tried to go as early as he did. Just look at Tyler Ankrum going around the outside and getting into 4th place there in the 17 car. Remember, he has the newest tires of any of these leaders.
Resumed the race in 10th after the second race break, and now has driven his way back up to 4th. Reed Lanfer and the 82 of Spencer Davis having a good battle there. But here is Ankrum to the outside. Can he get Burton? Can he get more with just 7 laps to go?
I don't know if he'll have the time. He just hasn't shown that he's that much faster and how much speed he's going to need to be able to go up there and get the lead, but he's trying to recover as best he can with a really fast car.
Ronnie Bassett having a quiet day up to the top 10 now as he gets by in the 0-4. Can he make the pass complete on Lanfer? Looks like he will. And I'm telling you, Bassett's one of the drivers in that points list that's going to be here all season. A good day today could go a long way toward a possible championship for him.
No doubt. You just can't give up points in this series. It's so competitive. Whoa, that's a major slide right there.
Brandon Oakley saves it. Haley Deegan finds a way through on the inside. Here comes Harrison Burton. This is for second. He'll get by.
Let's see if Tyler Ankrum can follow suit there to get by Noah Gregson as well. He's right on his bumper. Maybe give him a little bit of that bump and run on your teammate there. It's 5 laps to go at Bristol. You got to use what you can.
Teammates there, but they'll battle for it. Teammates here. The 16 of Kraus, the 19 of Deegan. They're not on the lead. Well, actually, Kraus may be on the lead lap. Deegan's many laps down. Meanwhile, look at the distance now. Gilliland has legged it out.
That he has. I'm not sure Harrison Burton has enough to catch him here unless they run into serious traffic. But, my gosh, how many times have we seen these 2 drivers go at it for the win in a K&N Series race?
Isn't it the truth? By the way, back inside the top 10, a couple of interesting battles. Ronnie Bassett still trying to hold on in the top 10. There he is, pushing Spencer Davis through. And on the outside, the wily veteran, the 43, that's Eddie McDonald. He's had a strong day for David Calabrese Racing, and he may finish just outside the top 10 before it's over.
I love the little push here at Bristol, maybe even a little bit bump drafting, so to speak, there down in the corner. Not too much the bump and run.
Final lap of the race, 150 today, and Todd Gilliland has had the handle at the end. 50th race for him in the K&N Pro Series. This will be his 20th victory. What a record. Todd Gilliland conquers Bristol.
And Dave, I'm not surprised from what we've seen out of Todd Gilliland over the years. He's a very impressive talent, and that was a very patient win. He waited at times he needed to and went hard when he had to, and that is just what makes Todd Gilliland so good. He is definitely a superstar of the future.
We mentioned his dad, David, owns this team along with Bo Lamastus. DGR Crosley is the name of the group, and they had 3 entries here today. They were all spectacular, as was the MDM car of Harrison Burton. Another good run for him. And these young drivers, Parker, it's fun to watch. They're all progressing in the ranks of NASCAR, continuing to put on a show every once in a while in the K&N Pro Series. Today, it was Gilliland again at Bristol. We'll talk to him when we come back to the last great Coliseum. K&N Pro Series Racing on NBCSN is brought to you by K&N High Flow Air Filters and Air Intake Systems, because everyone loves that fast car smell. And they're even faster at Bristol. New track record in qualifying, race pace extremely quick. And there's Tyler Ankrum wondering, should we have, well, he almost did. It was a great day for him. Victory lane belonged to this one again. Let's go down to Derek.
Well, the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West champion picks up the win here this afternoon at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Marcus Richmond comes in for a congratulations, but it was kind of a drive away at the end of the race, but you really had to fight for it in the first half, didn't you?
Yeah, man, this Mobil 1 Toyota Camry was super fast. Got to thank every one of my truck guys, Marcus Richmond, Mobil 1 again, man. Everyone that made this race possible. After New Smyrna, we weren't even planning on running any other K&N races, but then it's a few weeks till Dover, and we decided to run this one. So, and we've struggled here in the past, so I'm really proud of how we ran. With battling with Noah Gregson was a lot of fun, and hopefully we can carry this momentum. I feel like it's always a good thing to work with everyone and just work through the whole weekend. So I'm really proud of everyone at DGR Crosley, as well as Mobil 1 Toyota. So wish we could run more, but no. So it's a lot of fun.
Todd Gilliland in victory lane once again.
Well, certainly a good choice there, Dave, to run this race. But you know what? I wish I did too, because my next truck race is Dover as well, and I'm going to be going up against that guy.
Oh, next year, plan for you, right? Get a K&N ride at Bristol.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. Here you look at the top 10. Nice run for Ruben Garcia Jr. Eddie McDonald made it to 9th, so that was a strong run for him. And looking through the rest of the field, typical Bristol, Parker, there were a lot of people who were not happy today. A lot of contact and action, as always.
Definitely a bit of carnage, as we're used to seeing at this place, the world's fastest half mile.
Well, the reigning champion had a strong day, Derek.
Harrison Burton with a strong second-place run this afternoon at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and it looked like Todd Gilliland was good on the restarts. Were you having trouble just launching or getting that whole shot?
Yeah, we really struggled on short round speed. I don't know why, but we had a really good car. About 3 laps in, we would start, I think, reeling them in a little bit, but at the end of the race like that, with as much of cautions, that's not our strength. So we got to go to work. I got to go to work. I got to get better in certain areas, and if I do that, then we'll be in victory lane. It's disappointing when you know you can win and you don't win. So gotta get better. These guys are always working to get better, and we got to do the same. So hopefully we'll be back in victory lane. I raced Toledo in the ARCA car with these guys. Hopefully we'll be in victory lane there, and then I'll be back at Watkins Glen for the K&N East Series. So hopefully I can win my first road course race. Should be fun.
That's your defending K&N Pro Series champ, Dave. He comes home in the second spot today.
Derek, thanks a lot. And remember when I talked about Ronnie Bassett Jr. and the championship picture? Don't count him out in 7th, because all the guys ahead of him, I'm telling you, I've talked to all of them, and I'm not sure that they're going to be here for the entire year. So Bassett, Ryan Vargas in 9th, they've still got an opportunity to go for this championship.
Well, Noah Gregson returns to the NASCAR K&N Pro Series, here to have a little bit of fun today, but you look a little disappointed, but you still had a good run.
Yeah, we had a fast switch. They followed our glass Toyota Camry with Dave Gilliland Racing and Crosley's. It's just first, it's all about track position there. And first half, we had the lead, and then just got shuffled back after we pitted there on the restart, and it kind of hurt us. And then I don't know. I told the guys to keep it the same, not knowing the track, how the track was going to change. So I guess I take full responsibility for not getting the balance perfect. I didn't know how the balance was going to change with the race car as the race went on. So it's really good there at the beginning, just not quite what we needed there at the end, but just happy for Todd that we got to win within David Gilliland Racing Crosley's. We're close, but not quite there.
That's Noah Gregson. He comes home with a podium finish today.
I'm sure Noah's very disappointed, especially having to look there at the winning car in victory lane where he felt like he should be after winning the pole, but maybe he learned a little something for the Truck Series race in August.
There you see our next race information from Langley Speedway, Thursday, May 3rd. Speeds will be a little bit slower, but I can promise you the action will still be there, as it always is in the K&N Pro Series. But here today, Parker, man, just ratcheted up as we would expect at Bristol.
No doubt, the bottom lane was the predominant lane, and it caused some really great racing, some high speeds out of these new radial tires, and I think the winner was a very deserving winner in Todd Gilliland.
9 cautions, 3 red flags, but a whole lot of green racing that put on a show for the fans in the stands today. Here's that final wreck that took out some very good cars, but it was survived by Todd Gilliland and others who got through. Gilliland went to victory lane for the 20th time in his K&N Pro Series career and continues his rise in NASCAR with a Bristol victory.